And then the Trump cabinet gets a major shakeup this week. Mike Waltz is out as national security advisor and being nominated to serve as ambassador to the United Nations instead. Now, Waltz was at the center of the Signalgate controversy, accidentally adding that journalist to a military plan group chat. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will now head up national security for the time being. Ambassador John Bolton knows both of these jobs well. He served as national security advisor during Trump's first term and is the UN ambassador under George W. Bush. Sir, as always, welcome to the show.
Glad to be with you.
Nobody better, I was thinking about this morning, literally nobody in the world better to have this conversation with than you. What did you make of Mike Waltz leaving his position and getting a new ambassador title, or nomination, I should say, in the very same day?
Well, I don't think anybody was surprised that Mike Waltz is leaving the National Security Advisor's job. I think the Signalgate chat episode was disqualifying. I think it was interesting, obviously, that Trump gave him a soft landing, or at least the possibility of a soft landing with another job in the administration, although his confirmation hearing is going to be nothing but about signal chat groups and classified information. It's very interesting, though, that the way it happened yesterday, because of a leak of what was going to be Mike Waltz's fate, I'm not at all sure that the idea of the UN job didn't begin yesterday morning after the leak took place. This is a very unusual move to make. It's true I held both jobs. I held them in the opposite order. And I think most people in Washington would say that national security advisor is a more important position. But equally interesting, of course, is to find Marco Rubio now, at least on an interim basis, being both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor. It's only happened once before, and I don't think that's likely to be sustained.
And how do you pull double duty on that? You know, that now that Marco Rubio has been tapped for both roles, how do you successfully pull off both of those jobs at the same time?
I don't think you really can, given the way the national security decision-making process works today. Remember, when Kissinger did it, number one, he was Henry Kissinger. Number two, it was in the depths of Watergate. The Nixon presidency was on the downhill slope, moving very rapidly. Kissinger was probably the only nominee for Secretary of State that could have gotten confirmed at that point. He held the job through Nixon's resignation in the early days of Gerald Ford's presidency, and then gave up the national security job for Brent Scowcroft to take. So it was an extraordinary situation. It was literally a constitutional crisis. So not a good sign, not a good look for the Trump administration to be doing it now. My guess is that they were caught by surprise. That's why the UN nomination for Mike Waltz was a surprise, and they don't have a pick yet to replace Mike Waltz permanently as National Security Advisor.
Speaking of being caught, I wanted your take also on this, that a Reuters photographer captured Waltz using the Signal app at President Trump's cabinet meeting, you know, just a day before his ouster. So what would that have been? Wednesday. I mean, you can see he's chatting with Gabbard, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. Were you surprised to see him using the very app that's gotten him in trouble?
Yeah, look, the lesson that everybody should have learned is that you communicate classified information over secure communications channels. And to be clear for viewers who may not know how this works, everybody on that Signal chat group, who should have been on it anyway, had 24/7 access to secure communications, U.S. government secure communications. There's no reason to use Signal or any so-called encrypted privately owned communications channel. It's far too risky. And so to see it again, I'm sure that'll be a half an hour of questioning at his confirmation hearing.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to tune in for that. Lastly, I'm just curious, before I let you go, Ambassador, just given your time in both of these roles, has Mike Waltz ever reached out to you for advice, or, you know, as a mentor of sorts, since you've been there in the post?
No, and I think it's probably fortunate for him and the Trump administration he hasn't called me.
Okay. Well, I was just curious. I wanted to know if he'd ever reached out. Ambassador John Bolton, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your time and expertise.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.